We continue by, for those who would like to stay, the 12 apostles. As I said, El Greco paintings. Good. Let's start with who is this Saint James? He became a fisher of men. Today, July 25, it's his feast day. You know, he's called of Bethsaida. Let me just share with you a bit of Bethsaida. Why are there many fishermen, not just fishers of men, but fishermen in Bethsaida? It is known to be of a very special area. You know that the river Jordan coming from the north, and that is Mount Hermon area, the land of Dan. That's why it became Jordan, Yarden. From the land of Dan sprung, this fresh water and went through the estuary to the river called Jordan, the river that comes, the water that comes from Dan. And so going down south, it reaches the mouth of the so-called lake or the Sea of Galilee. And upon that entry, since there's already a body of water in the lake and there's a river flowing, somehow the mixture between this body of water and the fresh water coming from the spring, touching that basin of water, hot and cold, it becomes, it's moving and moving and moving. And you know what happens? A lot of fish go there. It is fresh during summer. It is mild during winter. And so Bethsaida is a very nice fishing ground. And in fact, James belongs to a fishing industry because his father Zebedee has also other hired men. May upahan po. So ano po nakalagay sa kanilang escaparate, ang tawag doon? Billboard rather, no? Meron silang billboard nakalagay, Zebedee and Sons Fishing Industry. So, yan po si James. Mayaman po sila. They are not just ordinary fishermen. They belong to a family-owned business of fishing. Bethsaida. Okay. But he was called by Jesus. No? So, the one who wanted to sit at the right hand of Jesus in glory, we said we know of a fishing industry owned by the dad and a mother with quite an ambition. Yan. He was nicknamed, according to John, together with his brother, Sons of Thunder. Hindi po mga kidlat, ha? Kidlat. Yan yata tayong sine ba? Sino ba? Kidlat. Hindi ko alam po siya. Di ba? May sine dati eh. Pero ito, thunder, kulog. Mga anak ng kulog. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell us what the nickname means, where it comes from. Si Mark, no? But they were surmising, siguro, it comes from his ambitious temperament. No? May konting yabang. He has a chip on his shoulder. So, this son of Zebedee, according to Mark, si Matthew kasi nanay naglapit. Siya lumapit kay Jesus together with his brother. No? If they could sit on his left and on his right. That's John chapter 10. Pero mas mahalaga to is that he even told Jesus if they could call down fire from heaven kasi they would not allow Jesus to enter into their town. No? Sabi ni Jesus, oy, hindi natin yan gawiin. That's not our manner of doing. And then as you said, he even approached Jesus to sit on his right or his brother on his left. And unwittingly, Jesus is already telling them, okay, you will follow me and you will sit on my right because you will be martyrs. In fact, among the 12 apostles, James is probably the first martyr, the first one to die. We'll see that later. St. Luke mentions him to be together with Peter and his brother John, having private moments. Other apostles did not have this chance. But with Jesus towing them, to getting them together with him to the house of Jairus, they saw the little daughter to be raised up from the dead. And he's known to be a witness of the transfiguration. Also, when Jesus left the other disciples in the Garden of Gethsemane, and somehow it was a stone's throw away. So magbato po kayo ng bato, at yung layo nun, yun ang layo ni Jesus from the other disciples, but he brought with him James, John, and Peter. So sabi natin, nakita nila ang pananaghoy. In fact, yung agony na Jesus was sweating with even blood, sabi nga ni St. Luke. Okay. So, after this, next slide po. Ano po itong Santiago de Compostela? Ayan, no? Nasa Spain po tayo. And from all corners of Spain, from east to west, from south to north, from southwest to northwest, and the near east but northeast towards the one gathering place that is Compostela. Tradition claims James was a missionary in Spain and that his body is buried there. But since his death took place in Jerusalem, and that is already in the Acts of the Apostles, there are challenges with the tradition of his burial in Spain. Nonetheless, that so-called Camino de Santiago, a pilgrimage to the church where James is allegedly buried, has become one of the most popular pilgrimages, and I say to this very day. Kita niyo naman, no? Ang ganda ng backpack ng mama. Bagong-bago. Diba? Ano ba ang tawag dyan sa backpack na napakamahal na yan? Okay? Yan ba yung Highlander? Wala ba yung backpack bang pangalan Highlander? Wala naman yata. So they say, it's a destination of pilgrims of nearly 300,000 a year. So how did James die? According to the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 12, he was beheaded. That's why many times his pictures would carry a sword. And this is how, kita nyo, how the man got him by the hair and then decapitates, takes away his head from his body. This is a beautiful painting of a Spanish maestro. Maestro di obra niya to. Obra de maestro. And that is Subaran. Subaran. So it is the only apostle whose form of martyrdom is recorded in the New Testament. Herod had him killed by a sword. And that is not by piercing it on his body, but on decapitating him. Yan po ang ating fifth apostle, di ba? Simon and Andrew, magkapatid. Tapos, using the Gospel of John, Philip brings Nathaniel, and now it's James. You can imagine, tomorrow, Sunday, we'll talk of John. God bless. Thank you for listening. Hopefully, these snippets of our faith give us more encouragement and motivation to live out our Catholic faith based on the witnessing testimony of the apostles. Sabi nila, without the apostles, we would not know Jesus, and without the fathers of the church, after the apostles have died, we would not know the apostles who will be the one to tell us about Jesus. We have an apostolic faith. God bless.